Good afternoon and welcome to SM Live. Back for live stream Friday. Great to have you with us again. So thanks to everyone that's joined us before, and good to have you online. So, and anybody that's new that's not seen this before, welcome. This is our weekly live stream that we're running, just to try and give you tips and tricks and kind of the best information on StockBook. So my name's Chris Stott. I'm SalesMaster CEO. We've got a great show today for you, managing your inventory. So we're highlighting the points around powering online sales, managing special offers, keeping everything in sync, ready for omni-channel retailing. So hopefully we're going to help you close out March with success and be in the driving seat for quarter two. I've got Howard with me as usual. So Howard, good to see you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Have you had a good week?
Yeah, really good week. Lots of interesting things, lots of new product features being released. Lots going on this week. So it's been super busy, but in a good way.
Brilliant. And what we're going to do today? You're going to take us through some more live demonstrations, and then we'll do a bit of split screen again. So what have we got planned?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to look at some campaigns within the stock as well, but then we're going to also show how we share that campaign across to each other using the split screen feature that we've now adopted.
Yeah.
It's going to be really good to managing, especially kind of finish off this quarter one and getting ready for quarter two.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's great to see, I know some of the internal product meetings we had this week and unveiling some of that new stuff. Great to see the pricing work out there in the live environment. So it'd be good to see, hopefully you'll be able to take us through some of the pricing updates.
Definitely. Certainly a question that came out of a previous live stream that we did around bulk pricing and offer pricing. We've now done a lot more work, or the product team have. Great achievement from those guys, and it looks really good. So excited to show that this afternoon.
Fantastic, brilliant. So as always, we've got Annette moderating on the chat. So if you're joining us live, please pop a comment in the chat, and then that will come through to us. We can put it on the screen and then answer that point so that everyone can benefit from that. And if you're watching it after the event, then if you use the comments thread below the video, Annette will then be able to coordinate and collate those to push them through into the next live stream. So, and remember, you can always watch these back. They are on our YouTube channel, so please subscribe to that so then you don't miss any of the content. We will be adding some more sort of timestamps and information to try and give you better access to individual parts of the video as we go through. We're going to, as we say, run these weekly, so we've got lots of exciting new product information coming over the next few weeks, so make sure you subscribe to get notified about that when we go live. So okay, well, with that in mind, let's crack on then, Howard. I think if we start, I'll cut back to me for a second while you sort out your screen.
Thank you very much.
So if are we just going to go to your screen for now, or should we share across the two?
I think just start on mine for the minute,
okay.
Just so everyone can see what I'm doing, and then I'll start to share that across to you as
Perfect.
well. So
okay, brilliant.
We can split the screens up.
Great. So we're on now. Go for it.
Excellent. So you can see we're back in the environment. So back into our StockBook demo environment that we use for demonstrations and obviously our live streams now. Some good volume of data in here for us to drill down into and create all of our features on top of. So I'm going to select a brand. I'm going to go for Mini this week, just for a little bit of a change. And you can see it will just drill down from the 21,500 vehicles down to just the 550 that we have in this environment.
Nice.
And I'm just going to drill down. Sorry, Chris. Go.
No. I was just saying, nice.
Nice.
I've seen it before. I've seen all this.
I could do a demo for you after. It's easier. So a one-to-one. So there, I'm just going to go for Mini available. I'm just going to look at new stock again. You can see we've got some used vehicles in there. So I'm just going to bring it down and just keep drilling down. So now we're down to 281 vehicles. And what I'm looking down here to do is I'm looking to create a campaign on top of these vehicles, or the subset of vehicles that I get down to. So we're going to go down a bit deeper in the criteria of what we want to do. So people that have seen the videos previously will see about tagging and managing campaigns within that, but we're going to go a bit further today. So I'm going to demonstrate that as I just keep drilling down a bit further. So we'll probably move our headers around using column chooser again.
Cool.
So I'm going to take out mileage, like so. And I'll bring in days in stock because this is a campaign that we're going to be putting on top of vehicles that are of a certain age that we want the team to focus on through March or through the remainder of Q1. So I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to sort that ascending and descending like so. So you can just switch on the header and it will put you in that order. So we can see our oldest vehicle sitting at the top now. Mini Cooper up the top here, and then go down a bit further. So I'm going to again use another function. I'm going to use Search Builder. I'm going to open up Search Builder. I'm going to add a new filter, and I'm going to look for days in stock again, and I'm going to look for all the vehicles that are over 90 days, like so. So you can see here now we are just seeing those vehicles. So 102 vehicles we've got in that set of data that where I've searched for. So you can see them there. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to add this campaign, this tag to these vehicles to really highlight them, so everyone else that's in the system can see that offer on top of those vehicles. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the checkbox, which we've done in the past, and that's where it changes the view or the options to choose within those vehicles as well. So I am going to add a tag. I'm just going to do the first 30 vehicles here. So I can select all 102 that I've got in my criteria, but I'm just going to go for the first 30 really on this stage, just to give a good example of how this operates. And I'm going to go to Manage Tags, and you'll see here it will now give me the ability to add a tag. So I can start to name that tag. If I want something specific in there, I can use whatever I want just to push through to everyone that will be aware of that campaign coming. What you will notice on here, and something that we'll about in a future video, is when I add a tag to these vehicles at the current state, it will just display to people in my organization, so people that are logged into the same account that I am, or the same brand, depending how the configuration is created. But if I select on there, you can see here there's actually a data sharing one as well. So again, something will come on to a later video, so I won't ruin that too much. But that's how I can share a tag across multiple accounts, even outside of that. So for the time being, I'm going to go for March offer, nice and simple and relevant. So you can see here I've just added a March offer. I can put a number on the end of that. I see that done a lot within our dealer groups and some of our manufacturers, where they want to there's a code or there's a number that they want to put on top of that. But we'll just leave ours as a March offer for this purpose. That'll just take a couple of seconds to update, and it will just append that tag straight onto all of those vehicles that I've selected. So you can see here all 30 vehicles now in the main screen have that March offer. So everyone would see that was in the system. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just select on the March offer. And when I do that, it then just looks for that hashtag that I've created. So I can now remove some of the other bits of criteria that I have in there. So I might just want to take away everything other than available stock and March offer. So still sticking with just the 30 vehicles that I had. And here I'm now going to go and save the view. I'm going to call it simply what it is. So I'm going to say March offer. And we can save that. You can see there's quite a few that we've saved in the past and demonstrations that I've done. To a number of dealer groups and manufacturers, as always. But what I want to do here is actually I'm going to share that view with across to yourself, Chris, as well.
Okay, cool.
We'll have a look at that shortly. But as soon as I click on share, you can see here there's the names of the people. Now, what you can find, and I know people have mentioned this to me in the past, so you can, if you search down, you see all of the dealerships, all of the retailer sites, everything that's within that one account. You can actually use the search function on your system to do this as well. So if I just look for Chris, you'll see it will highlight your name as well. Like so. So this then I can simply just...
This is a really powerful way of kind of building a standard report suite of live views that you want to distribute across your team. I know, one of the things when we first launched some of this functionality, there was lots of different spreadsheets for different purposes, and then there was email distribution lists to try and send those through, and it was just a lot of noise and a lot of traffic to try and communicate sort of different slices of data, this is now all real time and easy across the account, which is great.
Yeah. What I might do actually, Chris, I might backtrack, and I might do that once we are on two separate screens, so everyone can see that happening live.
Okay. So we'll
fine.
Do that. Good idea.
We'll do that again in a second, but for the time being, I'm just going to save that, and I'm just going to pin that a tab for myself. So of course, when I recall the data, when I'm in the system, I've always got then that March offer in front of me to be able to recall. And that's fixing that view, so that becomes the dynamic view. So as more vehicles get added to that campaign, potentially they'll go into that list, and which we'll absolutely do shortly. But as obviously, of course, if vehicles are sold from that list, it will just keep dropping down. So moving dynamically all the time within that. So now I've got my March offer set.
That's very straightforward. I think simple but effective, as hopefully most of the application should be intuitive to share this kind of information across. And don't forget, if you have got a question, don't forget to pop it in the chat, and then we can talk about that specific subject and share it to everybody else on the live stream. So Howard, I suppose it's just cut back to our cameras for a second, and I'll go onto that view. How many? What's the typical kind of use of these save views, or because obviously you've got on yours, you had quite a lot in the display, but in terms of the pinned ones across, you can decide which ones you want to use as the favourites, and what's sort of the typical setup for somebody on that kind of that layout.
Yeah, you tend to find what we're trying to do more and more is we're trying to create a suite of particular headers that people are really interested and keen to have on day one. So I know Daniel Simon and the implementation team, they try to get some of those really useful headers on there early, so when someone first logs into SalesMaster, they have a suite that's already been produced for them. Just simplifies that, stock over 90 days, or if we were doing a lot of the media sharing that we've talked about in previous videos, you may want to, have that workflow of, what's ready to go, what's consumer ready. And
defaulted to different roles, I suppose, as well, because somebody would want, for example, like I think we showed, was that last week, where we were doing the overview dashboard of what coverage you've got of stock online on the website, but also from a stock controller or a marketing function, you'd perhaps want to see those to-do lists as work queues. So and always with the what's sellable this month, pending adoptions, even because of what we take from a new car perspective, we're looking at almost spec amendable vehicles as well. So I do see lots of reports on all these various different bits of criteria, but when you start to talk to a head of business, a sales manager that is creating these reports on a weekly or daily basis, you soon gather to understand, okay, well, we can replicate that all in SalesMaster for you, and let the system do the job for you, rather than you spending hours in some cases to build those reports. And of course, we've got our own from this. We've got our own recommended ones, so you don't have to start off with a blank sheet of paper in that initial use case. We can provide some suggested ones as part of that, but obviously you've got the functionality that we're just shown to be able to tailor it for your own requirements. We've had a question come in via Daniel, actually, so let me just switch to that one. So Daniel says, I don't know who this has come from, but it's just come from on Dan's account, actually. So, can I add more than one offer to a single vehicle? So are you able to have multiple tags, multiple campaigns on the same car? That's a good question. Whoever sent that through to Dan, so thank you. Do you want to? Shall I switch back to show that? That's probably worth diving into the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to come back on. So hopefully you've got me back.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. The simple answer to the question is yes. You can. So if I wanted to add another tag, I can do it to all 30 of those vehicles, or I could just do it to a select few, and you can simply just go straight in here. And this is also a good way of showing that you can remove tags. So a click of a button as well. So if I wanted to remove the March offer from those particular vehicles, I can simply do that here as well. But again, to add another tag, you can just, so we'll just call that Q1 offer this time. We're just going to update those 3 vehicles that I've selected, and you will see, again, it will just run that little query for you, and you can see now there's a second offer on those vehicles.
And a good use case of that, I suppose, would be a combined manufacturer promotion. So there's potentially an OEM or a finance support on a certain model at a certain time of the year. That could be identified as the batch of vehicles, and then individual vehicles could also be highlighted as another individual campaign or promotion for your business or your group or division. So yeah, that's pretty flexible. So there you go. That's thank you for that, Dan. Yeah, good question. And I think it does move us on probably to the next part. What we got on? Is that where you want to share them with me, or should we do the pricing aspect now?
Yeah, I think I think I'll share with you first, and then I can show you how they get updated.
Yeah, cool.
From the pricing as well.
Cool. Okay, so we'll switch back. I'm just going to switch back to me for a second while we sort this out, and then I'll if we put your Mac's on already, isn't it? So yeah, should just be able to switch over now to get my screen on as well. And there we go. You still don't get to see me on the split screen. It's just you on this one, so you can you can hear me hopefully, but I'll just be in the background.
We're just going.
And we are flying over. I'm not sure what city that is, but perhaps New York. I'm not sure, but we'll try and get a SalesMaster background next week, perhaps.
Yeah. Just somewhere where we can't go. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Somewhere where we're not allowed. Okay. So brilliant. Hopefully the guys are following my screen at the minute, but can obviously see yours as well.
Yeah.
And just another piece where I was just going to remove those tags that I'd put on those vehicles. The save view that I've created is kind of fixed in what it's displaying. So when I select on that save view, you notice that the tags go like a darker blue. The reason for that is because that's the fixed terms that it's looking for. Okay, but lots of people come to me about they want to amend the save view that they've created. They've forgotten to put something in, or they wanted to remove something. So how you can do that is when you click onto the headers, you've got the ability to be able to edit that view. So if I edit that view, I can now make some changes before I then resave it. So for instance, I might just go in now and I might just add a new header. So I'm just going to bring in offer price into the view, like so. I'm going to put it next to retail price, and then I can simply save it. But we're going to go a bit further, because we're going to now share that with you as well. So click on your name. You can see I can click on multiple names. I can click on multiple sites. I can push it to everyone. But for this perspective, I'm just going to share it with you. Like
Great.
so.
And then presumably I get a view of that come through on mine.
Yep. Hang on, it didn't save. There you go. Does that come through to you?
Yeah. Strange name though. It's not pulled the name through. It's got sales status available and tags March offer. So maybe we've just saved it without the name change. So
yeah, maybe. But that's come through to you, which hopefully shows the 30 vehicles that were within this subset.
Got it. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So I've still got the list of 30 vehicles. Yeah.
Excellent.
That's great.
Excellent. Okay.
I got slightly distracted then because the background has changed, and then Annette's put in saying what she put. So name that city. But I think when Annette put that on, the city has since changed. So it's keeping us on our toes here with all the tech.
It sounds like a competition no one's going to win. There's probably a prize attached to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I can do here is, obviously now that view is being shared with you, any changes I do with the view as the kind of master of that view, so the controller of that view, any changes that happen that I do will reflect what happens on your screen.
Cool.
Hopefully. So we might want to take one of these vehicles, the business is operating, we could put a vehicle under negotiation, of course, as the sales status change, or we could even mark a vehicle as sold. And hopefully, as your screen refreshes within this, that updates as it goes along as well.
So I'm down to 28 vehicles because the scope was to have only available cars. Yeah, that's updated.
Perfect. That worked.
Nice.
So so that vehicle, one under negotiation, one marked as sold, and it's moving dynamically as the business is flowing and working throughout the day.
Excellent. Can I change? I can't edit that view then. If you share the view with me, so if I open up my save view, okay, so I see it as a shared view. I can't actually edit that, but I can set it as a default or pin it as a tab. So
yeah, you can, and you can take the view yourself as well. So you can rebuild it almost. So you could just then create the view again and
save it as my version of save my interpretation of whatever that is. So if I wanted to take the available out and still see the vehicles that were those ones that you've marked under negotiation and sold, then I could just literally remove those. Now I get to see the full 30 like you have where you've done it, and then I can go in and say save that view as March offer CS. So that one's now just my version of that, and then pin that as a tab, and then remove the one that you shared in. And the report, by removing it from these pin tabs, doesn't delete the report that you've shared, like the view that's been shared with me. That is still available in the Save Views panel. Because you can you can choose all of these like favorites that are pinned as tabs depending on which what's helpful for that day really. So I've got like the new stock by brand or sold today. You can literally delete those because they're just easy to go back and pin if you want them back on there. So it's quite flexible to customize that.
Yeah, I can see, and obviously, if you're in your save views, you will see that one that I'm sharing to you, and if you click on it, you'll see who's sharing it to you. So it should say my name on that view as well. Got it.
Yeah, created by Howard Cox. Okay, so let's try this then. If you if I just come out of that view, if you edit that, and can you change the name of it there? So if you change the name to a shorter one because you're using too much screen for my tabs.
So I'll call it March offer CS.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Because I've already created that one.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Use my initials, not yours. There
cool.
You go.
So that's now been shared in with me as March offer HC. Brilliant. And then if you want to change the layout of that, so for example, it's pushed it to the front of my tabs, and if you like to have these in a certain order, again, just no problem, close it so that you've removed the pin tab, go back to the save views, pick up the view, and then just say pin as tab, and it'll add it to the end. So very easy to customize that sort of tab order and which of the views you have on your screen at any one time.
Yeah, we're going quite in depth into how you'd use tagging or campaigning, but in a standard way within a showroom, for instance, and across a division. These are multiple tags are just happening, but they're already shared. So, or in some cases they don't share them because if you're looking at all your mini stock, you're going to see these tags on them very quickly. They're very much highlighted. You can see how they kind of append themselves on the end of the description. Quite difficult to miss.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I've seen in some cases where they use it to tell a piece of information about a vehicle that might not be a campaign. So it could be used for anything.
Brilliant.
As well.
Okay, well, let's just cut back to your main camera for a sec then. I think the other point on those saved views, particularly with tags, as we've just seen there, again, another real life example of one of our discussions we had when we were talking about sharing some stock to the website. We talked about that with a customer this week. So got SalesMaster in the business, the website displaying those cars to the consumer. We talked about how could we promote a certain subset of stock that's tied to a certain bit of an offer, a real live offer on the website, but directly linking that inventory to it. So with our APIs that we've got with the the larger website providers, it allows us to tag those vehicles and then perhaps put that in the criteria of the API. So the website could actually just come back and grab and say what's the latest status of the vehicles with that tag, and that's really powerful to have then a live list of actual vehicles, your inventory associated to a marketing offer that's displayed on the website. It was quite enlightening. That was more of a marketing team conversation rather than some of the sales teams and operations teams. But again, just looking at different use cases of how you can join up the save views to ultimately get more cars in front of customers, I guess. So
yeah, and obviously keeping everything in one place and all connected to each other.
Yeah,
things that says in the showroom is the same as what it says online, and wherever you're sharing it. So yeah.
Well, that's the other bit, isn't it? With omni-channel, I know we touched on it last week, but if the showrooms are obviously opening again soon. We've got virtual showrooms operating at the moment with people, starting perhaps the journey on the website and then either phoning or an email inquiry about a certain car, and it's essential to keep those things in sync if we're going to try and move to this sort of digital retailing and omni-channel sales process. You've got to have one single inventory. Just before we leave that that view that you did, just a reminder about if I'm brand director in a dealership, don't log into SalesMaster every day, although you should log into SalesMaster every day because that will give you your real-time view of life. But if they appreciate you're all busy people, so if that's something you want to send directly to your inbox, so you could get just a live view of that exported, perhaps daily. Latest position, sorry, not live view. Live view, you have to log in. But if you want the latest export, you'd have that into your inbox. Can we just configure that as a scheduled view?
Yeah, you can do the same. So once you've saved the header or created the header, the save view, you can then just select to schedule that email. And I think I'm happy to show that again. But we've shown it before where you can put in some recipients of that as well. So rather than just yourself receiving it, you may want it to go out to some of your sales team, so you're confident that they're receiving that data, either by email or obviously having it shared to them on SalesMaster.
It just works as another prompt, doesn't it? Really, I guess. So even though salespeople are in SalesMaster all day long, using that as a part of the business critical systems to see what you've got to sell, obviously. But if you want a prompt every day, also to the sales team, just to say, remember these vehicles are still pretty important. It's just a gentle push and a nudge to say, go and look for these. So.
Yeah, and obviously and even outside of that, of course that we want to connect SalesMaster data up with various other endpoints and potential customers of customers. So you can put in an additional recipient that may be receiving that as well on a daily basis to see what stock is left of that campaign. Yeah.
No, definitely. Okay, well, this is an example, I suppose, why, because it was Steve that prompted in the earlier chat in the week about the timestamps. So hopefully we can get those added on these YouTube streams, because if we add when we're talking about certain functions, it'll be easier perhaps for you guys to scroll and just jump to a certain part, and we'll perhaps even look at grabbing some of these clips so that you can see them as little how-tos as well. So yeah, that's why it's another reason to subscribe to the channel and build the content so that we can help share all this information to you, to make it as easy as possible to use the system and sell more cars. So right, let's move on to the next bit. So pricing. This is one I've been keen to see.
Yeah.
Shall we do an offer price on those vehicles?
Yeah, let's do it. So we've got a hopefully I'm back. I'm back now. So you can.
Oh, we've got a bit of double going on. Oh, it's all right. I think that's me actually. Hang on, it's a technical thing. Just go back to your screen. There you go. That's fixed it. Just had a bit of a double screen going on. So, but now we've got you, and then I'll put me in the corner. There you go. Sorted. Yeah, over to you.
There you go. We're both. So I'll stick with the same vehicles. I'm just going to select some. I will probably go with maybe a couple here that are a similar retail price. So I'm just going to take those two, and that could be multiple of vehicles that you want to take. Of course, hopefully the guys have seen this before on some of our other YouTube channels. But what I can do now, which was brought up, I believe this was a question that came out of our first YouTube live stream about doing this this function and feature. So you can see here now, once I click on pricing, if you've seen the videos before, you would have seen this, where I can drop in the OTR price of the vehicle. So I'm just gonna copy that out of the top one. There you go. That's ruined my surprise because you can see here
Nice.
now this new function here. So set offer price by reducing the OTR price, then by a percentage or by a value, a pound value. So yeah, we can say actually we just want to add 5% discount to those selected vehicles off of that OTR, and you can see it'll calculate it for you straight away.
That's awesome, and that's
then as soon as we
if you update that. So how can you get that? You can get that into my list as well, then presumably. So I can now see those prices.
Well, if you now bring in offer price into your view of the data, you would see it.
Let's switch that in. I'll just go to split screen on that, and then that's more appropriate background. We've got some cars in that one now. So
there you go. We knew it would come at some stage.
So I'm on the March Offer HC tab, which is fine. It's got the 28 vehicles available. So I'm now going to go and edit that view, or just drag the column in. Just bring the column in, I suppose. So
just drag the column in of offer price, and you'll see the two ones.
I can then choose where. So let's put it into there next to that. Okay, just close that search, and then if I sort by offer price, I guess it'll give me the offer price at the top there. Perfect. Look at that. Fantastic. So that's a real time saver, isn't it? So that allows you to be quite fluid on making those adjustments on prices within the system. Something, as you say, that was requested. So is that that's quite a quick turnaround then, really, isn't it? We haven't been doing that many of this. This is our seventh live stream, and we've it's gone from a question in a YouTube live stream to a feature in production in 7 weeks. Very good.
Yeah.
Alarm bells will be going up, Steve. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, he doesn't watch these, hopefully.
Yeah. So, but it's a good example of kind of. It's a good example of what we can do. Not obviously guaranteeing those features will be turned around that quick, but when we do get kind of input into this sort of stuff, we get some more, I suppose, appreciation for the new content that goes into our product roadmap. We've got a lot of cool stuff planned already, but if there's some bits like that, it's good to hear from you, because that all kind of weights into the business case for what goes into the next part of the product roadmap. So. Yeah. Good stuff.
Well, it's always, SalesMaster in its early days obviously built from customers' experience and our own experience. So, and that we haven't lost that. We've continued that with our customers to work with them. So yes, it obviously did come out of a YouTube channel live stream in that case, but there's a lot of other features that to make the user simple and straightforward for everyone that uses in the system. So we just continue to do that, and that's where the product is kind of driven from. Yeah,
brilliant. Okay, so we'll go back to main cameras then. I think we're pretty much there to wrap things up. Another good one, Howard. So thanks ever so much for showing that stuff. And as I say, any Oh, we have actually got Mr. York on the live stream. So that's... he says... What does he say? He says, good feature requests. He said, good feature requests are always taken seriously. There you go. That's SalesMaster CTO, Steve York. Yeah, and just endorses this get the stuff into us, and let's keep the product evolving and growing at pace. We want to be on the front foot, helping you all move as fast as you can with omni-channel digital retailing and getting the most out of the platform. He has actually added to that, unless from Howard. So Howard, you don't.
What did he say?
He said unless from Howard.
Oh, fine. I'll just get one of the other ones to ask him.
Brilliant. Cool. Okay. Well, thanks as always for joining us, everybody. It's been great, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you can. We'd love to build that up for future shows. Hope you found it useful. It's something, as I say, that we're keen to keep momentum and stay in touch with you. Certainly, while we can't get out to see you in the showroom, so it's our way of connecting with you through this. So, but yeah. Very good. Thanks ever so much, everybody. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. And we will see you next week.